Hello, my name is John W. Horton III, and my debut novel is Alvarado, and it's at AtmospherePress, and it will be available September 1st. Thank you very much. I didn't have a girlfriend, a car, or a cell phone. I went out with my friends and we drank beer and liquor and talked. Women became something of a luxury, like having a nice car or a nice apartment. It seemed like everyone had gone away. The women I met were always demanding and had an indifference to my lifestyle, which put me at odds with their material instincts. I stood on top of the roof at night and looked at the Los Angeles skyline that looked like a fake movie backdrop, the type of place that I could piss on and melt into a little ball of plastic. My grandmother saved a cowboy and an Indian from my 4-year-old birthday cake. When I visited her and put my dishes in the sink, I would look at a little glass jar that held a sponge, and I could see the cowboy and the Indians facing off with one another for eternity. Later would be little green army men, but something was more appealing about the Indians and cowboys than anything else. When you played westerns, you always got to come back to life, or when you played guns. In reality, you died, and an ambulance came. Hopefully, you could cling to life long enough for them to take you to the county hospital, and you might live. There was a morning when I woke up, and it was my first day on a long-term school assignment. When I got downstairs to the lobby, I found blood all over the walls and floors, and there was blood in the elevator. Day and night were one. At that hour, anything was possible. Dreams were real. There was no doubt about it. The building had become a prop downtown, and my life was an even bigger facade. Blood on the concrete, and life was cheap. All that could possibly happen was happening. Nothing now seemed out of the ordinary. Life rolled along like fire and water and oil. There was a war that we were all fighting each day that drew down upon us. I kept a rap song inside of my head so long that I forgot about time. I didn't wear a watch anymore. Life became a theater and a magnifying glass by which I looked at everything in life. I couldn't escape the past even if I tried. I cried every day inside. I retraced steps occasionally, sometimes literally, thinking back to my old elementary school field days, trying to think about how I would do things differently. Here I was waiting for life to move on to the next phase. I had somehow propelled myself forward. There wasn't any other way for me to turn. I burned slowly in the fires I had kept shoveling coal into inside of my head. What kind of cruel game was I playing with myself? The girl in the magazine was real. She looked like Aiko, only I would have missed it on Alvarado Street. I thought back again to the blood I found one morning all over the lobby of my apartment building, and how the building seemed like some giant human Aztec sacrifice. There was a trail of blood that led to the basement below, where I had found some books that belonged to a former tenant who was black and had obviously worked at some old movie theater where they showed porno films before beta and VHS, and who appeared to be some intellectual Renaissance invisible man. It was there that I found a cache of old black exploitation film posters, classic editions of black literature, books by Franz Fanon in French and English, and rare compilations of black poetry and poets I had never heard of. It seemed like it was meant for me to find. I sat in the basement for who knows how long. It was dusty and moldy and decaying, and I salvaged what I could and returned with the lost treasure to my apartment and got lost. It seemed meant for me to find an African-American El Dorado of classical history and culture.